Reportage by highly respected institution in the United States is an evidence of what is to come. The recent report by the ORB from the United Kingdom Institute also is an evidence of the feat the Biafra government has achieved within 2 years. I am telling you that everything happening now is happening just within 2 years. My fellow Biafrans, a lot of you are supporting the struggle either negatively or positively, and a lot of people don't actually know what freedom fighting is all about, other than supporting what we are doing on social media, and many of you who are supporting are not even sure. So it has become imperative that as we are making this feat, preparing ourselves for the historic day in Finland, we have to also educate our people on exactly our roadmap to independence. My fellow Biafrans, we are declaring the restoration of independent state of Biafra. And a lot of people will ask, what does this declaration mean to achieve? The declaration, just like every other declaration of independence of any country, only literally ceding state. Since the birth of the Declaration of Independence by the United States in 1776, with the U.S. Declaration of Independence, these have had at least two interrelated objectives, just like every other country. And this objective remain the delegitimization of the existing whole state, today Nigeria, that rules over the ceding territory over Biafra, and the legitimization of the new emergent state, Biafra, which is ceding from existing one, Nigeria. I just want to be putting it in elementary understandard or elementary standard level for everybody, both educated and uneducated, to understand where we are going and what we are doing, and exactly what you are supporting. And in the Biafra and Nigeria, we will make sure that we hold Nigeria people accountable for the injustices and the harms they have committed against Biafrans from the time of 1967 or even beyond that till this present day. We will hold all of them accountable, from Gowon to Obasanjo to every living Nigerian that has contributed in the genocide against our people. We are going to hold them responsible. It is not happening because there is no representative of Biafrans. There is nobody who summoned courage to represent Biafra people, speak to Nigeria in a language they will never understand until now. I have taken that responsibility. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of the city state, in the state of these Slovenians and all of that. However, by the time of the Declaration of Independence were issued, these parties had been removed from power and were effectively dissolved. In a sense, therefore, the grievances against this communist ruled state belong to the past or the present, the recent past, and were no longer relevant when city state declared their independence. In our own Nigeria against Biafra, it is going to be different, because those evil government officials that committed this crime against us are still at large today, and the government is still in power. Nigeria government is still very active killing our people in Biafra land, so we are going to make sure that we hold them very, very responsible for all the killings you see today happening in the southeast and south. In Okora community or the massacre, all of them, we are going to list all these killings and we hold them responsible. One could just argue that the whole state that would have been target of the legitimization through a list of grievances had already lost their operational legitimacy. And that's exactly the tactics that the Biafra government is applying today. We are expecting that as we are declaring the restoration of independence of Biafra, we will make sure that we reduce Nigeria to ground zero in Biafra territory through our actions from the Biafra Defense Forces. In consequence, the declaration of the independence of several federal units and later of sub-federal units, such as Kosovo, for example, of these two federal states, focus in some cases exclusively on legitimization of the new state, legitimization of their own state, because there is no need for them to delegitimize the existing state, since they have already failed. This was achieved by announcing or establishing state institutions. My fellow Biafrans, the issue of Kosovo, for example, in some cases, this Kosovo focused on legitimization of the new state. And this was achieved. Kosovo achieved their own independence during their declaration, announcing or establishing state institutions that were taking over the state functions of the old state. And that's exactly, we have actually done that. The Biafra government has actually established all state institutions, both in the homeland and from exile. We have actually superseded every country that have ever declared independent. We have superseded all of them. We have done what no country have actually done. We have government in the homeland, de facto government. We have created 40 United States of Biafra. We have defined our map, undisputable. We have also created the government in exile. We have already established liaison offices all over the world that will later become the embassies of Biafra. We have done, no country have ever done it in the history of freedom fighting. That is how far we have gone. And this measure is very necessary because Nigeria is a very complex country. And we needed to do something extraordinary, which we have done. And that is the reason you are seeing the attention that we are getting from DC or Washington DC, from the United States, another part of the world, because you can't have this particular achievement of the Biafra government today and everybody is ignoring it. No, they have predicted Nigeria breakup for many years. It never happened. And after the prediction, no reasonable, very serious individual is coming up to do something. Now, they have seen that, yes, Simon Ekpa and his government is more than serious and they can be taken very seriously. People have been watching, decision makers have been watching from the side and observing our activities for the past 1.5 years. And today, I believe they are summoning the courage to do that which is right. And what is it? To stand by the truth, by giving their voices for the independence of Biafra. That is what you see happening today. And we must applaud them. They have done the right thing. And those who are still waiting to see another crazy move from Simon Ekpa before they can give their voice, we will get them at the end of the day. My fellow Biafrans, the modus operandi and the pattern of the Biafra government today is something that Nigeria can never ever comprehend. Kosovo achieved this independence by establishing state institutions that were taking over the functions of the old state, or by announcing the new state commitment to several internationally sanctioned principles. Exactly what the Biafra government have done today. We have been announcing the new institution, establishing our ministries as a commitment to several internationally sanctioned principles, policies, and international organizations. This declaration of independence were apparently expected to legitimize the new state of Biafra in the eye of other world powers or other countries. My fellow Biafrans that are listening to me today, many of these countries that have fought for their independence and they got it by declaration have gone through many obstacles. And we are also going through many obstacles which we actually have defeated. This kind of legitimization of the new state in a declaration of independence often culminated in a request or appeal to other states and international organizations to recognize the independence of the new state. Exactly what Biafra is doing. But you know, all the approaches we've made so far, all the contacts we've made so far, we are just creating awareness. We're not expecting anybody to recognize us at this point because the declaration has not been made. It is after the declaration has been made, after the self-referendum has been counted, and we have official result, declaration will be issued. After the declaration of independence, you can now begin to call to the people that you want to recognize that you have. Now you have recognized, you have declared your independence. I'm sorry, I'm speaking Finnish. I mistakenly speak Finnish. I'm sorry about that. You know, the language is part of me, so I just speak Finnish now. So sorry about that. So it's to inform the countries that we have declared our independence through the mandate given to us by Biafrans, of which over 50 million has voted for our self-referendum. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. You can never ignore that. So, by this, many countries have done what we are doing today. Some of the analysis from experts will ever remember and inscribe the Biafra pattern of independence and declaration to the history book. In view of all the strategies of delegitimization and legitimization, there is something that you must understand. There are many major three important principles that I would say in the declaration of independence. The grievances declaration, the institutionalizing declaration, and the commitment declaration. These particular three principles, I would say, subgenres of the Declaration of Independence of Biafra is being worked on as I speak to you today by the Biafra Declaration Drafting Committee. And you must understand, we are 1 million steps ahead of Nigeria. That I must tell you. If you do not know today, know that we are 1 million. Before Nigeria will make any move, it is the move I have made 6 months ago. So I are very, very far. Like very, very, very far ahead of Nigeria. The prime example of this declaration can be found in the United States Declaration of Independence of 1776. And even during the Biafra Declaration of Independence in 1967, it was only few grievances that was listed. Only some grievances that were listed during the Biafra Declaration of Independence. Today, we are adopting every grievances, listing them against Nigeria state. That has never been done in the history of Biafra until now. I want people to understand, especially those illiterate who are on the side of the IPOB Nigeria. You know, the kind of confusion that we put into them is very amazing. You will see the people supporting the drug lord Nigeria Tinubu shouting, Simon Ekpa, go and die, this is that. You will see the IPOB Nigeria shouting, Simon Ekpa is working for Tinubu, is working for Nigeria government. Have you ever seen any confusion like that? Have you seen any confusion like that? Why the Afonjas are crying that I am destroying every plan of their organs in Nigeria, within the Nigeria state? The IPOB Nigeria, they are shouting and working for Nigeria. Why Nigeria is crying? That is the highest confusion. They don't know what is going on because they never believe that Nigeria can be challenged. You know how they address Nigeria? The most populous country in Africa, the biggest economy in Africa, the giant of Africa, the this and that, the evil entity is going down. They never believe that Nigeria can be challenged until today. Nigeria terrorist army never believed that Biafrans can actually volunteer to, risk their life to defend others. They thought everybody loved money. They thought every Biafra want life. Everybody want to live. They never believed that people can actually sacrifice their life for others. Nigeria never believed it. But today, it is happening. Volunteers of the Biafra Defense Forces are sacrificing their life for others. And this is unimaginable to the Nigerians. They never believed that a day like this will come, where people can actually give selfless service, where people can become patriotic, where you can see people dying for what they believe in. And it is very, very surprising to the Islamic Nigeria state. I'll give you an example of this declaration, even the recent one of Donetsk Act of 2014, Luhansk Act of 2014. This declaration named violation no state committed against the CD unit, including human rights abuses, act of genocide, discrimination, and breach of agreement justifying their call for international recognition or remedial ground. That's exactly what Biafrans we are going to do. Our own is more and worse than whatever Luhansk and Donetsk ever experienced. We have experienced apartheid in Nigeria against Biafra people. We have experienced genocide. We have experienced discrimination. We are victims of all the crimes you can think of. And that is exactly what the declaration drafting committee are working on. And these particular grievances that we are listing in the declaration is going to justify our declaration on the 2nd of December 2024. And again, after that, we will move a very aggressive campaign for international recognition or remedial ground. I want Biafrans to understand that you can't, what exactly foundation have you laid in the past for Biafra to come? Nothing. Are you going to just say, UN, come and give me freedom? Come on. No, without any foundation, without organizing yourself? No. The dead Buhari told you that Biafrans, if you want freedom, go and organize yourself. And people did not actually understand what he said. And he himself did not actually know when he said it. I watched him. Of course, then I was one Nigeria. I looked at this man. I laughed. I said, don't worry. The day I will join this Biafra struggle, you will know what you have said. So what else do you need to know that the Biafra people have rejected Nigeria and they are only loyal to the Biafra government. Their hope of a new beginning and new life is on the government of Biafra. So my people, after the declaration in Finland, what do you expect? What you are going to expect is that we will officially communicate our declaration to the Nigeria state, demanding the recognition and acceptance of the self-referendum. Not only that, we are not sending it to Nigeria state for them to accept. They are never going to accept, and we know that. We will also communicate the African Union, even when we don't even like them. We will also communicate ECOWAS, even when we don't like them. We will officially communicate all these institutions, seeking the approval of what we have done in exile, the history that we have done. And we will also officially communicate the United Nations through our international partners. We are not doing all these things for them to agree immediately, no, but believe me, we will release hell on Nigeria. After this December 2nd, we will release hell on Nigeria. I want you people to focus on the ORB report, where they say, after this declaration, after this self-referendum of Biafra, there is going to be two options.